Hello friends, this is Hatim Rampurawala, and in this video we would be continuing with our revision of illustrations of Ind AS 115. So we'll quickly go through in this video. We would be covering from illustration 11 to 20. Okay, so let's start. Illustration 11: an entity provides a broadband services to its customer along with the voice call. So entity is providing broadband and voice call. The customer buys the modem from the entity. So he's buying modem from the entity. However, the customer can also get the connection from the entity and modem from the another entity. Okay, so this both can be purchased by the customer from separately from the other vendors as well. The means modem can be purchased from other vendor as well. The installation activity requires the limited effort on the cost. Installation activity requires limited effort, and the cost involved is almost insignificant. So this installation activity is not a significant component. Okay, it is an insignificant. It has various plans where it provides either broadband services or voice call or both. So either it provides broadband individually or it provide a voice call, or both the services have been provided together. Are these performance obligation under the are the performance obligation under the contract are distinct? Yes, they are distinct. What all performance obligation are there? First, broadband services the entity is providing along with the voice call services. The voice call one the entity promises the customer to provide first broadband, voice call, and third is modem, and all these three are separate performance obligation. Okay, so we'll quickly go to the solution, the explanation which they have given. Basically conclusion is all these are separate performance obligation because they satisfy the criteria, because they do not meet the criteria. They are not a part of any single integration activity or highly interrelated or customization of any existing contract. So if these conditions are not satisfied, so they are single means they are separate obligations and not a single performance obligation. We'll quickly read the answer. Entity promises to provide goods and the services. If see, entity promises to provide goods and the services, which the entity is providing the goods and services is distinct if what I am reading here. Entity promises to provide the goods and services is distinct if the customer can benefit. These are the conditions basically we have to write, and then we have to give the conclusion. Customer can benefit from the goods and the services either on its own or together with the other resources that are readily available. So this modem can be bought from the external customer as well. So the customer can be benefited from that modem if he buys from outside. So that is readily available to the customer. And entity promises to transfer the goods and services to the customer is separately identifiable from the other promises in the contract. For the broadband and the voice call services, broadband and voice call are separately identifiable from the other promises as the company has various plans to provide the two services separately. These two services are not dependent or interrelated. See, these two are not dependent on one another or are not interrelated. Also, the customer can benefit from its own from the services received. For the sale of the modem, customer can either buy the product from the entity or the third party. No significant modification or no significant customization or modification is required for selling the products. Based on the evaluation, we can say that there are separate performance. So based on this evaluation, we can say that there are separate performance obligations: broadband services, voice call services, and modem services. We'll quickly go through illustration 12. An entity enters into any contract plant for the customer. So entity is building power plant. The entity will responsible for the overall management. This is similar to question number 10 which we have did. See, water purification 10 only it was, no? Yeah, water purification thing. This is a similar question. So I would be just reading the answer. We'll see in the conclusion, and I will move forward. The entity will be responsible only for the overall management of the project, including so he will be responsible for overall management of any project, including the services to be provided like engineering, site clearance, foundation, procurement, construction of the structure, piping, and wiring, installation of any see, all these services are being provided just for building one power plant. Our services are supplied. Basically, determine how many performance obligation does the entity have. Only there is single performance obligation. We'll quickly read the last conclusion, that is, since both the criteria are not met, basically the criteria would be of determining, that is, single performance obligation and all. The goods and the services are not distinct. These are not distinct and are accounted for as a single performance obligation. The entity accounts for all the good. Basically, first we have to write the conditions. of whether they're distinct or not, and if they are not satisfied, we will say it as these are separate, a single performance obligation. So the entity accounts for all the goods and services in the contract as a single performance obligation. Basically, since I had not read, because it is the conclusion and the content is also same as illustration 10. Then we'll quickly go to illustration 13. Okay, so this is a series. If the same type of nature of services is being rendered on a continuous basis, so that also will be accounted as a what we can say as a single performance obligation. So illustration 13, could the series requirement applies to the hotel management services where the day-to-day activity vary. See, the day-to-day activity vary, but that is basically they are providing the same services every day, even though the activity varies, involve employee management, procurement, accounting, etc. Solution, the series guidance require each distinct goods and services to be substantially the same. All the services which the entity is supplying, basically that has to be substantially the same. The management, see, these services would be the same. Everyday employee management services would be provided, procurement services would have been provided, accounting services will be provided. Okay, so the guidance requirement up, I will again read it. Service, the series guidance require each distinct goods and services to be substantially the same. Then management should evaluate this requirement based on the nature of its promises to the customer. So what all are the promises? Based on that, they have to see whether these are substantially the same, that is provided continuously, same has been provided. For example, a promise to provide hotel management services for a specified contract term may meet this series criteria. For a specified term will meet series criteria. This is because the entity is providing the same services of hotel management. See, this hotel management services is the same service is been provided each period, even though some on the underlying activities, some of the underlying activities may vary each day. The underlying activities, for example, reservation services, property maintenance, are activity to fulfill the hotel management services rather than separate promises. These are not separate promises, but a single service, that is hotel management services. The distinct services within the series is each time increment of performing these services. So this will be accounted as a single performance obligation. Then illustration 14, an entity uh, an entity A, a specialized construction firm, enters in a contract with B to design and construct a multi-level shopping center. So A enters into contract with B to build a multi-level shopping center with the customer car parking facility. So A is providing services, which is a specialized construction firm with car parking facility as well, located in the sub level underneath the shopping center. So it would be located below underneath. Entity B solicitates bid from the multiple firm on the both the phases of the project, project design and construction. So there are two phases, design and construction. First, the entity A will design the entire mall. What is this basically? Shopping center. And the construction activity, the design and the construction of the shopping center and the car parking facility involve multiple goods and the services, from architect, consultation and engineering through the, so all it will involve all these things, that is architectural consultation would be required, engineering throughout the procurement and installation of all of the material. Several of those goods and services could be considered separate performance obligations. See, several of these obligations might be considered as separate. So architecture would be separate, engineering would be separate, installation would be separate. Okay, then several of these would be considered as separate performance obligation, because entity A frequently sells the services such as architectural engineering separately. So if entity A sells these services separately, so that can be accounted as separate performance obligation as well. Entity A may require, okay, then entity A may require to continually alter the design of the shopping center and car parking facility during the construction. Now what they have said here is entity A would be required to continually alter the design of the shopping center and car parking facility during the construction. So during the construction also, if any what we can say obstacle type occurs, or in a design or something, so they have to alter the design and again they have to work on this design and again they have to construct a new thing, new design would be constructed. Then as well as continually assess the proper property, what is this propriety property of the material initially selected for the project. Basically, so they have to what they are saying is basically they would be required to continually alter and as well as continually assess the uh, propriety of the continually assess the propriety of the material initially selected for the project. So now from this sentence only till the earlier sentence we were like they could be recognized as a separate performance obligation because the entity is providing this all separately as well. But from this sentence we can state that this is a this has to be recorded as a single performance obligation because this design and construction are both interrelated, highly interrelated, because a little change in construction designing the architecture have to change, and again the construction. So both this works hand in hand, goes hand in hand in this case. Determine how many performance obligation does the entity have. So over here the answer has to be one performance obligation. So we'll quickly read the answer. Entity A analyzes that it will be required to continually alter. See, in this case they have clearly stated in the question as well that they require to continually alter the design of the shopping center and car parking facility during the construction period, as well as continually assess the property of the material initially selected for the project. Therefore the design and the construction phase are design and the construction phase are highly dependent on one another. See, these both are highly dependent on one another, and this is the one of the of condition. If this is satisfied, then it has to be regarded as a single performance obligation. That is, two phases are highly interrelated. Entity A also determines that significant customization and modification of any design and the construction service is, see this, in this case significant customization is required in order to fulfill the performance obligation under the contract. As such, entity A concludes that the design and the construction service will be bundled. So now entity A concludes from this case that design and the construction service will be bundled and accounted for as a one performance obligation, that is single performance obligation. Illustration 15: an entity, a software developer, enter into a contract with the customer to transfer a software license. So now software developer is and had entered into a contract with customer to transfer software perform an installation services, provide unspecified software updates. So he is transferring software and providing unspecified software updates, technical support, offline and telephonic over a period of 2 years. The entity sells the license, installation services and technical support separately. See, these entities sells separately as well. The installation services includes changing the web screen for each type of user. For example, marketing in inventory management and information technology. The installation services is routinely performed by other entities and does not significantly see, in this case what they are given is, I am reading the fourth line of the question, actually the third line. I will read from third line. The entity sells the license, they are selling license, installation service, technical support separately they are selling. Then installation services include changing, what does installation services include? Changing the web screen for each type of user. For example, marketing, inventory management, information technology. These installation services is routinely performed by the other entity and does not significantly modify the software. See, this is being performed by other entity as well, and does not significantly modifies the software. So this installation is not changing the software, not significantly modifying the software. The software remains functional without the updates and technical support, and this software will remain constant, and they will work even without software updates and the technical support. So determine how many performance obligations. So we'll count from the question as well, question only. The first is the entity is selling software license. Second, installation services, that is also been provided by the entity. Third is software updates, see in second line, unspecified software updates. And the fourth is technical support. So there are 4 performance obligations in this question. So we'll quickly read this answer. Entity assesses the goods and the services promised to the have to assess, that is the entity assesses the goods and services promised to the customer to determine which goods and services are distinct. First they have to identify which goods and services are distinct. The entity observes that the software is delivered before the goods, see software is delivered before the other goods and services and remain functional without the software updates and technical support. Thus, the entity concludes that the customer can benefit from each of the goods and services either on their own or together with the other goods and services readily available. Entity also considers that the factors of the IND AS 115 and the entity also considers the factors of IND AS 115 and determines that the promise to transfer each goods and services to the customer is separately identifiable from each of the other promises. In particular, the entity observes. So they are concluding that they have to assess basically in that if they are separately identifiable, so they would be regarded as a separate performance obligation. In particular, entity observes that entity is observing that the installation services does not significantly modifies or customize the software itself. So installation is not combined with software, but installation is different, and software and the software which has been provided is different, separate, and as such the software and the installation are separate output promised by the entity. Instead, the input used to produce the combined output. On the basis of such an assessment, the entity identifies four performance obligation in the contract for the following goods and services: first, software license; second, installation service; third, software update; and fourth, technical support. Now, moving further with this illustration only, that is illustration segment 15, and we are doing now we services illustration 16. The promised goods and services are the same as in the above illustration. So this promised goods and services are the same, that is software license, installation, software updates, technical support, except that the contract specifies. Now the contract is specifying that as a part of an installation services, software is to be simultaneously customized to add. Now software is required to be customized to add significantly new functionality to enable the software to interface with the other customized software application used by the customer. So now this installation forms a major part of this software, and it is required continuously requires update. Okay, see, as they are given, that is software is to be substantially customized to add significant new functionality to enable the software to interface with the other promised software application used by the customer. The customize this now in this the two elements, that is the software license and the two performance obligations, that is the software license and the installation, will be combined and will form as customized installation services. Installation services can be provided by the other entity. Determine how many performance obligations does the entity have. So first we have to write a basic theory in relation to this, and then see the conclusion. We will directly read the basic of the entity identifies three performance obligations in the contract for the following goods and services. First is customized installation services, that includes the software license. Customized installation services is basically, as they have specified in the question, that the software update, the software license software requires continuous update and customization. So that will that both performance obligation will be combined to form customized installation services, which includes software license also. One second, software updates will remain the same because that can be provided separately, and technical support also separately. And I am not reading the content, you can just quickly read once. The same theory concept has been given. There are three performance obligation. We had seen the conclusion. Illustration 17. Telco T enters into a 2-year contract for internet services with customer C. Now T is entering with C, contract with C for providing internet services. C also buys a modem and a router from T and obtains a title to the equipment. T does not require customer to purchase. See, who is T? Supplier does not require the customer to purchase its modem and router and will provide internet services to the customer. So even though it does not purchases the internet service providers modem or router, then also the entity will provide the internet services on the other networks, modem and router as well. There is a secondary market in which the modem and routers can be, see, they are given is, and will provide internet services to they will provide internet services using the other equipment that is compatible with T's network. There is a secondary market in which the modem and the routers can be bought and sold for an amount greater than the scrap value. Now this modem and routers, there is a separate market for that. In that, the specific equipment, that is modem or router, can be sold at an above the scrap value, that is they have a value after being sold, and that is also greater than the scrap value. So the customer can be benefited from that. That will see in the answer while we would be reading the solution. Determine how many performance obligation does the entity T have. So basically this all would be considered as separate, that is internet service, modem, router. So it has to be three. See, we'll read the conclusion. C could benefit from the internet service using the router, modem, and that are not sold by the customer. Therefore the modem, router, and internet services are not highly dependent or internet. So all these three would be separate performance obligation if this all has been uh, provided same entity. If T has provided, so this all three would be regarded as three separate performance obligation. So just quickly we'll read the solution. T concludes that the modem and the router are two distinct, and that the arrangement includes three performance obligation. See, they have given arrangement include three performance obligation: modem, router, and internet services, based on the following evaluation criteria. 1, capable of being distinct, that is the C, that is the customer can be benefited from the modem and router on their own because they can be resold at more than scrap value. The customer is getting benefit, and the customer can get the benefit from the internet services in conjunction with readily available resources. He then and in addition to that, he can also be benefited from the internet services in conjunction, which is readily available resources, that is either the modem or the router are already delivered at the time of the contract setup. They could be bought from the alternatively can be bought from alternative retail vendors, or internet service could be used with different equipment. Criteria 2, distinct with the context of the distinct with the context of the contract. T Limited does not provide a significant. See, what they are given is T Limited does not provide a significant integration. There is not any significant integration service in this. The modem, router, and internet services do not modifies or customize one another. See, modem, router, internet service do not modify or customize one another. C could benefit from the internet services from C can be benefited, customer C can be benefited from the internet service using the router and modem that are not sold by entity T. He can get the benefit from that. Hence these all are not highly dependent on one another and would be considered as three separate performance obligation. So we are done till now with 17 questions from illustration 11 to 17. How much time we have took? 22 minutes for 7 questions. Illustration 8, V Limited grants C a 3-year license for antivirus software. So he is granting software license of 3-year, okay, to the customer C. Under the contract, V Limited promises to provide C with when and if available updates to the software during the license period. These the updates are critical to continue use of antivirus software. Updates are critical to the use of antivirus software. However, how many performance obligation does the entity have? See, in this, what they are given is that entity is providing a 3-year license for antivirus, and these updates as and when available to the software during the license period. I think so. It has to be regarded single performance obligation, because see, these are in the question itself they are given is that these updates are critical to the combined use of antivirus software, so they have to be installed. So highly interrelated, so it will be accounted as a single performance obligation. Now we'll quickly read the answer. V Limited concludes that the license and the updates are capable of being distinct because the antivirus software can. Oh, wait a second. What I understood was wrong. What? V Limited. So we'll read and then we'll conclude. So the thing which I said, just keep aside. Means it is not just a single performance obligation. We will read and then we'll conclude. Wait a second. V Limited concludes that the license and the update are capable of being distinct. See, V Limited is considering this both as distinct because antivirus software can still deliver its original functionality during the license period without the updates. C can also benefit from the update together with the license transferred when the contract is signed. So what they have said is T can be benefited from the antivirus software without any update as well, which has been originally delivered by the vendor to the customer. However, we conclude that the license and updates are not separately identifiable because the software and the services are input into a combined item in a contract. That is, the nature of V promise is to provide continuous antivirus protection for a term of a contract. Therefore, V Limited accounts for the license and updates as the single performance obligation. See, there can be two solution. It can't be two solution basically. First, what they have said is that they have to be account distinct because that uh, the original antivirus software is still being able to used by the the customer can still enjoy the benefit of the original software without any updates. But since this update are critical and they are providing continuous updates during the contract period, if it would be like there won't be any update or much uh, important updates to that antivirus software, even though it has been stated in the contract, then it might be then the entity, the vendor, that is entity, that is V Limited, won't be recognizing that as a single performance obligation. Then they would be recognizing it as a separate performance obligation. But since there clause there is the contract has been made as such that the contract has been made as such that they will provide a continuous antivirus protection for a contract period. They will provide, so they will account as a single performance obligation, and that the updates are also what we can say critical to the continued use of the antivirus, so they will account as a single performance obligation. So the conclusion is the same, single performance obligation only. Illustration 19. Media company P offers magazine subscription to the customer. Okay, they are offering magazine subscription. When the customer subscribe, they will receive a printed copy of magazine each month and access to the magazine online content. So what the entity P is providing, offering magazine subscription, they will get a printed copy of the magazine, customer will get each month, and they will also able to access the online magazine content. So either they can read the magazine from the printed copy, or they will also get an access of online content. Determine how many performance obligation. See, there would be simply we can say there are two performance obligation. That is one is the printed copy and the other one is online. Wait a second, this all are little. See what conclusion they have drawn is P Limited evaluates whether the promise whether see P Limited evaluates whether the promise to provide the printed copies and the online access are separate performance obligation. They are assessing whether these are separate performance obligation. P determines that the arrangement includes two performance obligation of the for the following reason. See, there are two performance obligation. One is printed copy and the other is online. The printed copy and the online access are both capable of being distinct because the customer could use them on their own, as I said earlier as well, because there are two separate performance obligation and not a single performance obligation. The reasoning they have stated is, first, they can be assessed, they are distinct because the customer could use them on their own. Second, printed copy and the online assets are distinct within the context of the contract because they are different format, so they do not significantly customize or modify each other, nor is there any transformative relationship into a single output. So there is not basically there isn't any significant customization or modification of each other, and they have a separate format, that is one is in printed format and another is the online access. So as we have concluded by reading the question, which what we concluded was they are separate performance obligation, and the same has been stated in the answer as well by giving the reasoning that both are being capable of distinct capable means both are separate, both are capable of being distinct because customer could use them on their own. Second, different format, and they are not significant customization or modification or of each other. Write this reasoning and conclude that they are two separate performance obligation. Illustration 20. implied promise to resellers customer, implied promises to reseller customer. Headline, solution, sorry, question. Software company K enters into a contract with reseller D, which then sells the, see, first, what the customer, what the software company, these are the newly added illustrations of May 21. This 20, this 19, 18 were all newly added. Okay, and we are doing directly from the updated PDF from the website of ICAI. Software company K enters into any contract with the reseller D, which then sells software product to the end user. So first K is supplying to D, which then sells software to product, which then sells the software product to the end user. So first K is selling to D, then D is selling to end user. K has the customary business practice of providing free telephone support to the user without involving the reseller. So K would be providing the services directly to the customer without being, what we can say, without involving the dealer, reseller, that is D, and both the reseller, that is the D, and the customer expect K to continue to provide this support. So K is providing, the company is directly providing support without the resellers being involved in middle, and they are expecting that K will continue to provide that. How many performance obligation does the entity K have? Okay, in evaluating solution, in evaluating whether the telephone support is separate performance obligation, K notes, see, these are the first of all separate performance obligation, because one is being provided by D and the other is by K. The customer receives one from D and other from K. See, first, evaluating whether the telephone support is a separate performance obligation, K Limited notes that the promise to provide the telephone support free of charge to the end user is considered a service that meets the definition of performance obligation. See, these service which is been freely provided by the entity K to the customer without involving the dealer is in itself a separate performance obligation when the control of the product transferred. So now when the software is being transferred from K to D Limited, transferred to D Limited, these services by default being included, means this is a separate performance obligation. When the entity K sells the software to D, there is a separate performance obligation on the part of K to provide a free services to the customer. As a result, K accounts for the telephone support. See, when it sells the software to D, it will account for the separate telephone support as a separate performance obligation in transaction with D. So for example, they are transferring the software to D Limited for say 100 rupees. Without, see, this is the free service basically, but it would have some market value. Let's consider the service which is been freely provided by this K. Let's say it has a cost of 20, cost, or we can say a market price of that service is 20, and so that 100, the value, contract value, uh, that is the software value, which on that value means K has transferred for 100 rupees the software to D Limited. So that 100 will be bifurcated on in the proportion of 120, that is 100 of the software and 20 of that free telephone service which the value have been derived, and on that basis he will recognize these two, that is first selling of software and perform, and this, what we can say, this telephonic support service as a separate performance obligation. See this, so this both would be regarded as a different and separate performance obligation. So at the time of transferring this software, first he will recognize one revenue in relation to the, what we can say, in relation to software being transferred to D, and the other, there would be another performance obligation as a he will K will recognize the other performance as a separate performance obligation in transaction with D in relation to sub telephone support services. Okay, so we are done with illustration 20, and the time taken for this 20 sum was, sorry, this 10 illustration, for the 10 illustration is approx 35 minutes. Okay, so we'll continue with the further illustrations. Do show the support and do share the video if you liked it. and we would be continuing the further illustrations in our next coming video. Thank you for watching the video.